Welcome to St. Joseph's School Appreciation Presentation. The classes have worked hard on preparing their poems, stories, and songs. We would like to take this moment to thank the following people that have made this school community better.
Staff and students, Father Neil, school council, school PSG, ongoing bottle drive for donations, sorting, and delivery to depot, hot lunch, pickup and delivery, restaurants that provided the meals, playground committee for the design and cleanup, raffle fundraisers, shop local, Purdy's chocolate fundraiser for their Christmas and Easter, leaf raking, playground cleanup and painting, online auctions, and crossing guards.
Christopher Yates, Professional Day, Indigenous and Métis workshops, Don Corson, Métis President, Charlie DeFau, West Kootenai Métis Youth Rep, Anne-Marie Smith, Selkirk College Cultural Activities Coordinator, student votes and political guest speakers, student art cards, classroom fundraisers, Christmas concert, Palinka family, Angel Tree food drive and donations, Nelson Police Department and the RCMP's Safe Schools, Wild Site Program, Cool It Program, Beyond Recycling, the BCSPCA, the Royal Canadian Legion, the Catholic Women's League, Knights of Columbus, financial donations towards tuition, school, and playground, and to all that support our school in many ways.
We thank you for all of your time and commitment to our school. We can't be the wonderful place we are without you. Please enjoy the classroom performances and a thank you for all that you do. Sincerely, the St. Joseph School students and staff.
Thank you! Cursive Curse by Ted Hsu. My M's are much too bumpy. My U's are far too lumpy. My K's are way too droopy. My L's are all too loopy. My E's are eyes, and I's are E's. My Z's have got some rare disease. My tails are tilted to the right. My X is not a handsome sight. My wimpy R's are worst of all. The bumps on top are much too small. My pencil shouts to stop for air. My hand is sore. This isn't fair. My teacher doesn't understand. I'll never have a steady hand. I feel the need to scream, or worse. So close your ears, or you may hear a lumpy, bumpy, cursive curse.
Our grade 2 class is going to sing "We Come to Ask Your Forgiveness."
We come to ask your forgiveness, O Lord, and we seek forgiveness from each other. Sometimes we build up walls instead of bridges to peace, and we ask your forgiveness, O Lord. swat her, smash her, and go to bed victorious, happy and glorious. She will come winging, zooming and zinging, wickedly singing over your bed. You slap the air, but she's in your hair, cackling with laughter. You smack your head, but she isn't dead. She's on the rafter. She's out for blood. Yours, my friend. And she will get it in the end. She brings it first to boiling point and lets it steam with a fee-fi-fo and contented fum. She sips it while you dream. Day the river freezes is a day it won't seem fair, 'cause we'll come to get the river levee. I don't think they'll care. I know they'll scrape with paint tar in their same old foolish way. And the people see the river and the ocean's gone away. Water turns cold and gets to freeze, and before you know it, the old world sees it away from our birth, round by the point and out of our view. Off in the mist, the red cliffs mounted, back on the bank, the old voice sounded a little goodbye. Little I'll do what I must do. A little goodbye, little I'll do what I must do. Oh, I will remember when I cannot hear that horn. And I roll up by the mountains, and she took us through a storm. No, we thought to take her, and I can't say I approve. 'Cause she's won so many battles that I hate to see her lose. Water turns cold against the freeze, and before you know it, the old girl sees and away from her birth, down by the point and out of our view. Off of the mist, her engines pounded, back on the bank, the old girl sounded a little goodbye. Little I'll do what I must do. A little goodbye, little I'll do what I must do. Water turns cold against the freeze, and before you know it, the old girl's easing away from her birth, down by the point and out of our view. Off in the mist, her engines pounded, back on the bank, the old girl sounded a little goodbye. Little I'll do what I must do. A little goodbye, little I'll do what I must do.
Mr. Nobody by Anonymous. I know I'm a funny little man, as quiet as a mouse, who does the mischief that is done in everybody's house. There's no one ever sees his face, and yet we all agree that every plate we break was cracked by Mr. Nobody. He puts damp wood upon the fire that kettles cannot boil. His beef bring in mud and all the carpet soil. The papers always are mislaid. Who had them last but he? There's no one tosses them about but Mr. Nobody. 'Tis he who always tears out books, who leaves the door ajar. He pulls the buttons from our shirts and scatters things afar. That squeaking door will always squeak, for pretty don't you see? We leave the oiling to be done by Mr. Nobody. The finger marks upon the door by none of us are made. We never leave the blinds unclosed to let the curtains fade. The ink we never spill, the boots that lying round you see, are not our boots, they all belong to Mr. Nobody.
What do we plant? By Henry Amy. What do we plant when we plant the tree? We plant the ship that will cross the sea. We plant the mast to carry the sails. We plant the planks to withstand the gales. The keelson, the beam beneath. We plant the ship when we plant the tree. What do we plant when we plant a tree? We plant the houses for you and me. We plant the rafters, the shingles, the doors. We plant the studding, the lath, the doors. The beams and siding, all parts that be. We plant the house when we plant a tree. What do we plant when we plant a tree? 1,000 things that we daily see. We plant the spire that outtowers the crag. We plant the staff for our country's flag. We plant the shade from our hot sun free. We plant all these when we plant a tree.
Hope is a Thing with Feathers by Emily Dickinson. Hope is a thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. And sweetest in the gale is heard, and sore must be the storm that could abash the little bird that kept so many warm. I've heard it in the chillest land and on the strangest sea, yet never in extremity it asked a crumb of me.
Grade 1 and kindergarten are going to sing I Am a Pizza in St. Joseph's School. I am a pizza. I am a pizza.
With extra cheese.
With extra cheese.
From tomatoes.
From tomatoes.
Sausage squeeze.
Sausage squeeze.
Onions and mushrooms.
Onions and mushrooms.
Oregano.
Oregano. I am a pizza. Ready to go. Oh, I am a pizza. I am a pizza.
Pepperoni.
Pepperoni.
No anchovies.
No anchovies.
Or phony bologna.
Or phony bologna.
I am a pizza.
I am a pizza.
Order by phone.
Or my phone. I am a pizza. Please take me home. Oh, I am a pizza. I am a pizza.
Peppers on top.
Peppers on top.
Out of the oven.
Out of the oven.
Into the box.
Into the box.
Into the current.
Into the current.
Upside down.
Upside down. I am a pizza. Dropped on the ground. Oh, I was a pizza. I was a pizza.
I was the best.
I was the best. I was a pizza. Now I'm a mess.
To the people of age and of youth, the history of wisdom, of honor and truth. They come to the drum as the heartbeat of earth. They know of its value, assured of its worth. Theirs is the music of story and chant, songs of the heart, songs of the dance, dances of meaning and movements of life, of wonder and family, free from all strife. Patterns and symbols and colors abound, the blues of the sky and the greens of the ground. How long is the time to gather and meet, to sing and remember, to dance and to eat? Notables too have a story to tell, of nations and chiefs and families that dwell. Important are stories to hear and to tell, history, values, and humor as well. Elders are keepers of stories and tales, respected and honored, their wisdom prevails. The words we use matter to help understand, like the word indigenous, it means of the land. Indigenous people
children gathered wherever they're from. To listen, respect, to learn and to share, for this is the way to show that you care.
Far end of town where the grickle grass grows, and the wind smells snow and sour when it blows, and no birds ever sing except old crows. It's the street of the lifted Lorax. And deep in the grickle grass, some people say, if you look deep enough, you can still see today where the Lorax once stood, just as long as it could, before somebody lifted the Lorax away. What was the Lorax, and why was it there? And why was it lifted and taken somewhere? From the far end of town where the grickle grass grows, the old Onceler still lives here. Ask him, he knows. You won't see the Onceler, don't knock at his door. He stays in his lurkum on top of his store. He stays in his lurkum cold under the floor, where he makes his own coves out of muffled moof. And on special dank midnights in August, he peeks out of the shutters, and sometimes he speaks, and tells how the Lorax was lifted away. He'll tell you, perhaps, if you're willing to pay. On the end of a rope, he lets down a tin pail, and you have to toss in 15 cents and a nail, and the shell of a great-great-great-grandfather snail. And he pulls up the pail, makes the most careful count, to see if you paid him the proper amount. Then he hides what you paid him away in his snub, his secret strange hole in his grooviest glove. Then he grunts, I will call you by whispermaphone, for the secrets I tell you are for your ears alone. Slop down slups the whispermaphone to your ear, and the old Onceler's whispers are not very clear, since they have to come down through the snurgly hose, and it sounds as if he has smallish bees up his nose. Now I'll tell you, he says, with his teeth sounding gray, how the Lorax got lifted and taken away. It all started way back, such a long, long time back. Way back in the days when the grass was still green, and the pond was still wet, and the clouds were still clean, and the song of the Swanee swans rang out to space. One morning I came to this glorious place, and I first saw the trees, The truffula trees, the bright colored tufts of the truffula trees, mile after mile in the fresh morning breeze. And under the trees I saw brown barbaloots frisking about in their barbaloot suits as they played in the shade and ate truffula fruits. From the ripulous pond came the comfortable sound of a humming fish humming while splashing around. But those trees, those trees, those truffula trees, all my life I've been searching for trees such as these. The touch of their tops was much softer than silk, and they had the sweet smell of fresh butterfly milk. I felt a great leaping of joy in my heart. I knew just what I'd do. I unloaded my cart. In no time at all, I had built a small shop. Then I chopped down a truffula tree at one chop. And with great skillful skill, and with great speedy speed, I took the soft tuft, and I knitted a thread. The instant I finished, I heard a good thump. I looked. I saw something pop out of the stump of the tree I chopped down. It was a sort of man. Describe him? That's hard. I don't know if I can. He was shortish and oldish and brownish and mossy, and he spoke with a voice that was sharpish and bossy. Mister, he said with a sawdusty sneeze, I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees. I speak for the trees, for the trees have no tongues. And I'm asking you, sir, at the top of my lungs. He was very upset as he shouted and puffed, What's that thing you made out of my truffula tuft? Look, Lorax, I said, there's no cause for alarm. I chopped just one tree. I'm doing no harm. I'm being quite useful. This thing is a need to find something that all people need. It's a shirt, it's a sock, it's a glove, it's a hat, but it has other uses, yes, far beyond that. You can use it for pillows, or sheets, or curtains, or covers for bicycle seats. Lorax said, Sir, you are crazy with greed. There is no one on earth that would buy that fool's need. But the very next minute, I proved he was wrong. For just at that minute, a chap came along. And he thought that the need I knitted was great. He happily bought it for $3.98. I laughed at the Lorax, you poor stupid guy. You never can tell what some people will buy. I repeat, cried the Lorax, I speak for the trees. I'm busy, I told him. Shut up, if you please. I rushed across the room, and in no time at all, built a radio phone. I put in a quick call. I called all my brothers and uncles and aunts, and I said, Listen here, here's a wonderful chance for the whole Wunschler family to get mighty rich. Get over here fast. Take the road to North Niche. Turn left at Weehawken, sharp right at South Stitch. In no time at all, in the factory I built, the whole Wunschler family was working full tilt. We were all knitting thieves, just as busy as bees, to the sound of the chopping of truffula trees. Then, oh baby, oh how my business did grow. Now chopping one tree at a time was too slow. So I quickly invented my super axe hacker, which whacked off 4 truffula trees in one smacker. We were all knitting thieves 4 times as fast as before, and that Lorax, he didn't show up anymore. But the next week he knocked on my new office door. He snapped, I am Lorax, who speaks for the trees, which you seem to be chopping as fast as you please. I am also in charge of the brown barbaloots, who played in the shade in their barbaloot suits, and happily eating truffula fruits. Now, thanks to your hacking my trees to the ground, there's not enough truffula fruits to go around. And my poor barbaloots are all getting the crummies, because they have gas and no food in their tummies. They love living here, but I can't let them stay. They'll have to find food, and I hope that they may. Good luck, boys, he cried, and they sent them away. I, the Wunschler, felt sad as I watched them all go, but business is business, and business must grow, regardless of crummies and tummies, you know. I meant no harm, I most truly did not, but I had to grow bigger, so bigger I got. I biggered my factory, I biggered my roads, I biggered my wagons, I biggered the loads of the trees I shipped out. I was shipping them forth to the south, to the east, to the west, to the north. I went right on biggering, selling more needs, and I biggered my money, which everyone needs. Then again he came back, I was fixing some pipes, when that old Mrs. Lorax came back with more gripes. I am the Lorax, he coughed and he winked, he sneezed and he snuffled, he snarled, he sniffed. Once-ler, he said, with a crumpleless throat, Once-ler, you're making such smogulous smoke. My poor swami swans, why, they can't sing a note. No one can sing who has smog in their throat. And so, said the Lorax, please pardon my cough. They do not live here, so I'm sending them off. Where will they go? I don't hopefully know. They may have to fly for a month or a year to escape from the smog you've smogged up around here. What's more, snapped the Lorax, his gander was up. Let me say a few words about Gluppity-Glup. Your machinery chugs on day and night without stop, making Glippity-Glup, also Sloppity-Slop. And what do you do with this leftover goo? I'll show you, you dirty old Western man, you. You're glumping the pond where the humming fish hum. No more can they hum, for their gills are all gummed. So sending them off, oh, their future is dreary. They'll walk on their fins and get woefully weary, in search for some water that isn't so smeary. And then I got mad. I got terribly mad. I yelled at the Lorax, now listen here, Dad. All you do is yap, yap, and say bad, 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 bad. Well, I have my rights, sir, and I'm telling you, I intend to go on just what I do. And for your information, you Lorax, I'm biggering on biggering and biggering and biggering and biggering, turning more truffula trees into seeds which everyone needs. And at that very moment, we heard a loud whack. From outside in the fields came a sickening smack of an axe on the tree. Then we heard the tree fall, the very last truffula tree of them all. No more trees, no more seeds, no more work to be done. For no time at all, my uncles and aunts, everyone, all waved me goodbye. They jumped into cars and drove away under the smoke-smuggered stars. Now, all that was left between the bad-smelling sky was my big empty factory, the Lorax, and I. The Lorax said nothing, just gave me a glance, just gave me a very sad, sad backwards glance. By the seat of his pants, I'll never forget the grim look on his face when he hoisted himself and took leave of this place. The whole in its smog without leaving a trace. And all that the Lorax left here in this mess was a small pile of rocks with the one word, unless. Whatever that meant, well, I just couldn't guess. That was long, long ago. But each day since that day, I've sat here and worried away. Through the years, while my buildings have fallen apart, I've worried about it with all of my heart. But now, says the Once-ler, now that you're here, the word of the Lorax seems perfectly clear. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. So, catch, calls the Once-ler. He let something fall. It's a truffula seed. It's the last one of all. You're in charge of the last of the truffula seeds, and truffula trees are what everyone needs. Plant a new truffula, treat it with care, give it clean water and feed it fresh air. Grow a forest, protect it from axes that hack. Then the Lorax and all of his friends may come back.
We are gonna sing In God's Circle of Love.
God's circle of love, we hold on to each other. I can see God's love through you. In God's circle of love, we learn to love each other. Thank you, volunteers at St. Joseph's.